2012 VW Transporter Alternator removal and replacement. Obviously it's down in the gubbins. First of all, I'm doing an alternator. Disconnect your batteries, 10mm here, take them off. Then you're going to want to remove your airbox to give you some access. They just pull out, fingers on, pull in. You've got some clips down here. Just turn over, got one there, one over the other side, that will release the airbox. You're then going to want to remove this pipe to give you a bit more access down in there, because the alternator has to come up through, because you can't get it out because of the subframe underneath, from underneath, so it has to come up. So to enable you to get it up, there's an 18mm bolt there and an additional two 13mm bolts that you get from underneath the subframe at the front engine mounting to release them. You can put a jack underneath it then to lift the engine up. Obviously go careful you're not pulling anything, but it should give you enough access then for you to be able to pull the alternator upwards. But obviously before you get there, unfortunately, you have to take from underneath, take the power steering pump off, which do first by undoing the pulley wheel first, because that has to come off, because unfortunately the mounting bolts for the power steering pump are actually behind the pulley, and that has to come off to be able to move the alternator to actually pull it up, because you need a little bit more space. It is very tight in there, you won't get it out unless you take it out. You obviously have to remove this radiator housing as well. There is some torque bolts here, T30s, there's one there, one at the bottom, exactly the same on the other side. So you have to take your washer filler and your expander tank out, which has got one bolt here for your filler, T25 Torx bolt, this one as well, this is a T25 and this is a T25. You take that off, just unclip that pipe from there, unclip this off there, then you can get this pushed back, and then you'll be able to push this back then to access down in here your other T30 torque bolts for the cover for the radiator. You have to take this off to give you that little bit more access as well to get the alternator out. So you have to take them out, push this back, take these two out from this side, then try and twist it up and push the housing down so you get a little bit more space down in here. I'll show you once I've done it. Right, so let me start taking some things to bits and I'll show you what it looks like once we've moved everything. Back in a sec. Right, so back again, removed everything. All my little helpers removed everything. Now I can show you what he's done. 18mm bolt out of there for the top, comes out. It's alright, it's not going to go anywhere because obviously the engine's sat on it. You also, down in here, can't see because it's a terrible picture, there is this that you need to take off, which inside there is a 13mm bolt, but inside of there it's usually, well, this was very rusted inside and lots of things, so I had to hoover it out to access the bolt without rounding it off. I would highly advise you to do that, because if you round that off in there you've no chance of getting it off. You need to remove this dampener just so you can pull the alternator out. It gives you that little bit more room again. So that's 13mm bolt in that. Obviously then there's this pipe that I've removed from here. You've got Jubilee clip this side, and then it's the fast release clip that's just in here as normal VW one. While I've been here, I've undone the T30 torque bolt from this side, removed the 3-bolt Torx 20T25s from this to move them back to access again the other T30 this side for the top of the radiator housing. Again, stress before you start, disconnect the battery first before you do anything. 2 10mm, I've just disconnected it both on the safe side as you do. To get the airbox out, once you've split the top, it's a 10mm bolt that's down there. you do have to jiggle it because there's a pipe that accesses down there for obviously the intake. That generally wants to come off with it. It's a bit of a toll, but you can get it out. So once you've done all this up top, it's time to have fun underneath. So I'll get down there in a second and show you what we're going to do under there. Right, now we've got all the top done, everything undone, pushed out the way, get some down. I don't know what we have to do, jack it up, jacking point there, underneath, then get your axle stand in obviously for a bit of safety. You don't need too much access because you're in under your back. Obviously it'd be better if you've got a lift, but hey ho if you want. Fortunately my little helper hasn't, so we're having to do it on the floor, but it's accessible and you can do it. So once you've done that, 1 minute, we'll get on the floor. Yeah, that took a bit more than a minute, but hey ho, back to the foo bar. So I've got a little helper. But this is the front engine mount here on the cross member that goes all the way around. You've got 13mm there and a 13mm here. That then just, you don't have to take the full engine mounting off, you just undo them, and that then you can jack the engine up with a sump to push it up to give you access to pull the alternator out from the top. But first of all, we've got to get this pulley, the power steering pump. But first you've got to get the pulley off, which has got 3 there, torque bolts, the CRV10s. So you have to take them off first because the bolts to take the pump off are actually behind the pulley. Great design, but you have actually got one in the back here as well, so you need to undo the one in the back, remove the pulley, and you can see one here. There's one just above, and there's one at the front of the pulley as well. Once you get it off, and the belt, actually try and undo the splines first while the belt's on, just to give you a bit of help without pulling it round, or you have to jam a screwdriver in the back through these little other 3 holes to try and jam it from the bottom. That's what I had to do anyway. Well, when I took belt off. But then obviously your tensioner is up. Hold on. Over here. I haven't got a good camera angle, I'm very sorry, but you'll see underneath the 16mm here. Just take the tension off the belt, and then you can remove the belt after you've done these, which we'll proceed to do now, and I'll show you once we've done it. So back again for a second. Once you've removed the pulley, now you can see we've got 1, 2, and then there's just another one up here, 3 of them CRV10s, again multi-spline. So you remove them. He's already gone ahead and removed the other C40 from the back of the pump whilst they were doing the 3 CRVs for the pulley. That's what the pulley looks like when it comes off. It will take a bit of persuading. He did have to get little pry bars in either side just to manipulate it out, but obviously go steady because you don't want to be bending it. It is alley light. So you've removed them, now we need to get them 3 out. That then will give us a little bit more access to the back of the alternator and taking the alternator out, which is only held in with 2 13mm. You can see one just here, and then there's another one. Things in the way, can't really do it. You can actually access it from above. There is can't see it, a bracket that goes just above the alternator, which is here. There is actually a bolt you can access at the top with a little 13mm socket in there to then unloosen the alternator to drop that out. Now we'll proceed just to remove the power steering pump now and show you a little bit more access on what we're going to do next. So once you've undone the 3 CRV10s that hold your pump on, that'll drop down. Then that will then give access to that bolt you can see sticking out there. That's the one, the bottom one for the alternator. And then you can just pull that straight out. You can get that one from the bottom. The other one you can access from the top. While you're down here, you can pull, this is just like a little clip, pull it back and your wiring will pull out, and then you can undo your other torque screw that's just there. T25 is used to ratchet, finds it easier to just accessing, smaller, can't get in without the screwdriver type end on it this side. I think you will need the ratchet as well for the other side because it's pretty tight up there, even though you can still get in. You can then disconnect, take the little black cover off the back so you can disconnect your power into the, well, your power out from your alternator. So while we're down here, I can't remember if I told you we take the 13 mils out. Don't worry about the engine, it's not going to fall because obviously it needs to be lifted up. But then when you've put your axle stand under, get your jack, you need to remove it, put it under sump, obviously try and protect it, don't bend it or anything, don't push too hard. Take that out, don't leave your tensioner on. Yeah, so I'll pause it there and we'll go up top and I'll show you a bit more up top. Right, so now we're back up top. These are the two T25s we need to take out, one there and one there. Obviously you can see they're accessible. Hold on, it's not focusing. There, it's gone again. Look, there's another one there that you take out, and then this is loose, then this cover. Well, it isn't, you need to pull it out at the bottom to then lift it at the top. This is what I forgot as well, you need to take the grill out. So I'll have to just take this grill out so you can access the tabs behind that hold it on, which you take the grill out with. This, just pull them up and they come out. This one, and then you just undo this for the battery and you can just take this top bit off. And then the grill just lifts and pulls out. That then gives you access to the back of this cover to just push the clips off at the back to then be able to twist it down, shove it down here. That's why we've had to move these as well, to give us space to push it down. You've got plenty of space with it to get round. So when we've undone them ready for that, we can already see now. Sorry, upside down and everything. Everyone can see it now. This is that plate here that you can get in. You can access from the top this 13mm bolt. Now we've already loosened it, so you can just pull it all the way out. Put that up there for later. That's a 13mm again. Then that releases the alternator. But now you have to go back underneath with your pry bars to then try and pull it out because it is jammed in slightly, so it will take a bit of persuasion to then release that from where it's held in. But there's only two bolts actually holding the alternator on, so it's that one at the bottom I showed you earlier and then one at the top there, and that releases that. Then while you're up the top you can reach down and pull. There's a clip like one of these ones type of thing, your normal clips on the back of the alternator. Then obviously the 13mm that you can get from underneath once you've popped that off and moved it round, or you can get it in position, whichever you find what you want to do to remove the wire from the back, the charge wire, which we'll come back in a sec now and we've removed the grill and everything. Right, we've removed the grill now. Found the camera not focusing. Like I said, we've got these little clips that were 1, 2, 3, and then there's your battery one that's just a screw that was in there holding the other of it. Once you've undone them, pull gently each side at the bottom forward with the grill. It comes out the locators. There's just a few locators on the bottom, so just be gentle so you don't snap. They don't seem to be too brittle, they're alright. And then what we're trying to do is access these clips. That's what holds the casing, the radiator backing plastic plate over the back of the radiator. But there is 2 tabs underneath also that you need to push out first to be able to lift this up. Then once you've done that, you can, then like I say, you need to lift and twist, which I'll, once I've done, well, once he's done it, he'll show you. Right, so when you've removed your radiator cover, 1 second. Right, once we've removed the radiator cover, you do need to fandangle it somewhere up and around. Oh, a bit of light on the situation. Right, fandangle it up and around so top end comes up. You do have to try and twist it underneath the other boost hose down there for the intercooler, and from underneath you have to pull it back slightly so it can get over the subframe, so you can push it down a bit. I do think you're going to break it, but it's alright, it's not. I haven't broke anything. I've done this twice now and not broken anything yet, touch wood. Then what we have to do is reposition your jack underneath, block of wood on, just to save the sump. Jack it up by the sump because we've undone these 2 bolts from underneath here, and this 18mm there that was on the engine mount there. Don't undo them. Some videos show you do, but you don't have to. You just undo the top, and obviously, like I say, you can do it straight away and the engine's not going to drop down then on you, because all you're doing is lifting it up, we're not going down. So there's no need to touch them 16mm this side, just this one. So you can leave this on as well, because you don't need to take that one off. Now all I've done is just put a bit of cardboard down here just to try and save the radiator, because it is very exposed now. Obviously you're trying to pull on this to get it out. I've already gone ahead and got the pry, well, he's got the pry bar behind it already and just gently pried it out. Unfortunately I did an eBay special and got an alternator from there and it's no good. So now I'm having to take this one off and go to the proper shop, get one and send this back to eBay. Never mind, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But that then should just be able to get pulled up here. Just push that pipe out the way as well, just get a little bit more. A little bit of manoeuvring, injury pokery. Might need to twist it a little bit more, but I've only got one hand. I don't want to do it, I want to pull my back out. I'll get Ewan to do it, but you can obviously get the gist. It comes out that way and it goes back in the same way, and just reverse process to put it all back together again. I hope that helps, because I needed help when I was doing this, and some of the other videos they just take everything to bits, and having you taking the front engine mounting off, or taking this engine mounting off completely, taking the wheel off and the wheel liner out. There's no need to do any of that if you just try and follow these not so simple steps, but simpler than everybody else's. You should get it done a lot quicker. Right, thanks again, just give us a like and I hope that helps. 12 plate VW Transporter, thank you.